So you take the play.
Yes, I'll take the play.
For the viewers.
All right. Good luck.
Have fun. Will this be the third time I make second place, or will I finally be able to do it?
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Sorry, let me think about this for a second. Yes, I will keep this hand.
Agree.
Okay. I'm gonna start by going to 18 and casting Gataxian Probe.
So you can judge me now. I have a monkey. I have a faithless looting. I have a soul herder. I have a hole breacher. I have a neoform, a trop, and a wooded foothills.
Order, hole breacher, neoform, trop, wooded foothills. That is certainly a hand. I'll draw from Gataxian Probe.
So you would have kept this as well.
I think it's certainly keepable. Aaron Mesa, I'll pass.
And up draw for turn. Sure. Do you run Stifle? Yes, you do.
It is open information.
Let's see.
That resolves.
I'll find a volcanic island and I'll monkey.
Monkey is good.
Pass turn.
Thinking about my life. I'll crack Mesa. Go to 17.
17, okay. Has the duel in hand.
I'll get Raugen and try him. There it is. Tap. Draw for turn. So you have Ragavan. Foothills. Yeah. I'm gonna go island and cast fire, dealing 1 to the monkey, 1 to you.
Yes. You know
Pass
about
turn.
these 5. You have been written down either way, so we still have open information. And up draw for the turn. I think I will. No days in your list. Faithless
There's
looting.
no days. Yes.
Draw 2. I think it's actually this for this matchup. I'll be discarding the Soul Herder and the Neoform.
Okay.
5 out of 7 you've seen are gone.
Yes.
Hollowed Fountain tapped. Go ahead.
Okay. Untap. Draw. Play Deserted Beach, and then I'll pass.
And up draw for the turn. I'll play a Tropical Island and pass.
Draw. Volcanic Island. I'll pass.
End of turn. Attempt to flash and Hole Breacher.
In response, I'm going to cast Brainstorm.
That's good.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. put these two on top. Hull Breacher resolves. And I'll pass.
Upkeep, draw. Yeah, you need to make that decision about passing first. That's why I was waiting. Go to combat.
Yes.
3.
No effects. Go to 14.
Second main. Reverse the Ulvenwald.
What is in your graveyard?
3 types.
Creature. Okay.
2 sorceries, 2 creatures, 1 wooded footy. 1 woody.
Yes, that resolves.
I'll grab a basic island. I'll play a basic island.
Okay.
Pass my turn.
Is it hand?
4.
At the end of your turn, I'd like to Swords of Plowshares the Hull Breacher.
That's good. I'll gain 3, finish shuffling in a second.
Sure. I have you at 21.
21. Yes.
Okay. Move to my turn.
Yes.
And tap. Draw. A basic island. I will pass.
Yep. Untap upkeep, draw for the turn. Red lawyer. Sorry. Tapping like this.
Interesting. Resolves.
Light from the loam targeting wooded foothills trigger ledger shredder.
Is it just Wooded Foothills?
Just wooded foothills.
Okay. Yeah, your Shredder trigger resolves.
Draw for the turn. I'll be discarding Titan of Nature's Wrath.
Okay. Loam. Yeah, that's fine.
And this has a counter on it because I discarded something that wasn't a thing. Let's say it that way. Wasn't a land. Wooded foothills? I'll be passing
Yes.
turn.
Draw.
Pass in
This
hand
Hall
for
of the
you.
Storm Giant tapped.
How many cards?
I have 4 cards in hand.
Okay.
How many do you have in hand?
3.
3.
One of them still known to you.
That will be 4. Alright. That's a supreme verdict. I'll pass.
That. Going back down to 20. Is that good?
Yes.
I'll find the Jeskai Triumph. There it is. And upkeep. Draw for that. Basic forest.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4 mana. If I didn't miscount, I should easily be able to escape this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards.
Yeah,
Leaving
resolves.
and leaving in gray is looting life from the lone wood.
Okay.
I'll go to 23. I'll draw a card. I will then pass my turn to you.
How many cards in hand?
3. 2 unknown in the Murktide region.
So it
You
does.
are at 3 cards in hand now.
Yes. Yes, currently 3 cards in hand. I'd like to crack this delta.
Sure.
13. I'll play my German Tundra. Which
Is
is,
German Tundra also called Tundra, or does it have
I
a
think
different
so.
name? We need that printing, we need German. Yeah, it's also just Tundra. Makes sense though. Needed to ask.
Deinen Mana Worte. Mana
Erhöhe
Borat.
dein Mana-Vorrat um blau oder weiß.
Yep, that's exactly what my card says.
Diese Karte zählt als Insel und als Ebene und unterliegt
I
Zaubersprüchen, die
suppose
für
Tundra is like an
Standardländer
Icelandic
gelten.
word, so there's no like translation.
Yeah, the French has an O in it, so Gryphos says. It's Toundra.
That's why would you do that, France? I would like to cast Council's Judgment.
Does that exile or does that just
Exile
sacrifice
each
it?
permanent with the most votes or tied for the most votes.
Won't.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will choose a row.
You don't have
I will
another choice.
pass.
We both don't have
Yes,
another
you're
choice.
correct. I don't have another choice.
I'll crack this fiery islet.
Yes.
That doesn't change my life total. I'll be going to my turn.
Okay.
Untap. Upkeep. Go to dredge step.
Yes.
Hitting Monastery Mentor. Temple Garden. Night of Autumn. Need to pick up this pile again. Uno. Dos. Tres. Catorce. Omnath, Locus of Creation. Cards in hand, 3, correct?
I have 2 cards.
2 cards.
And here. This is good for me. See if that resolves. So thinking. Yeah, Omnath resolves.
ETB.
Yes.
Pass turn.
Okay. Yep. I'd like to cast March of Otherworldly Light, targeting Math.
2 mana open.
A Ragran Triome and a basic island.
I think I'll put the mana leak on that.
You will mana leak it. I'll cast Dovin's Veto on the mana leak.
I'm good on that.
Pass
On
two.
nothing. And upkeep. Draw for the turn. Two cards in hand again.
One card.
One card. This is getting to the spicy territory. Seven cards in graveyard. I do this and this and that. What does that benefit? Not as much as I like. I do that. I think that's the correct play. I will cast the Life from the Loam, targeting Wooded Foothills, Fiery Islet, and Temple Garden.
Yes.
I'll just stack my exile pile, because that shit's gone.
I'm very sad I do not have Rest in Peace for this matchup.
You didn't put it in? It's not on me.
Yeah, there are too many fair decks in my bracket.
Do I need any of those? I don't think I need any of those. I think I want one of those, so we do. Wooded Foothills, I'll crack.
Sure.
Go to 22. This might be the weirdest and most non-greedy timeline. We're getting a basic mountain if you top deck that back to basic. I'd like to get this Murktide Regent onto the board. I'll exile these 5 cards, leaving Faithless Looting. There's 2 things going away from the graveyard, so it's a 5/5.
So it was mana leak and what was the what was the other spell?
Life on the
Life
Loam.
from the Loam. Okay. Yeah, that resolves. You have a 5/5.
Flashback Faithless Looting, triggering Murktide.
Sure.
Draw 2 cards. I'll discard a Temple Garden and this Caracas that I don't think will be relevant in the matchup. Go ahead.
Cards in hand?
5.
5. That's a lot of cards.
You know about a Fiery Islet. The rest
Omnath is so powerful.
is unknown. It just keeps replacing itself. I don't know how it happens.
It's too much information. I think it's needed. Top 5. Cast Solitude.
Yes.
Target Murktide.
I'll be at 28.
Oh, this is gonna take forever. Go ahead. How will I ever get through all this life?
And up. Draw for turn. I don't think the life is your only problem here. Tap 2.
Yes.
Have a Wall of Omens.
Oh, that's unfair. That resolves. Or toughness. It's cheating. I can't beat that.
Fiery Islet is land return.
Okay.
Let's see if you have the kinda nuts here. Eldritch Evolution.
Ooh. That resolves.
Don't be dumb, don't go for the greedy line. No, he has interaction. Sticker ETB, fine.
Yes, that resolves.
I think this is just the correct one here, even though. Ah, 2 mana open. You didn't use any counter spells this game yet. Do you have one in hand if you have 2 islands open? You tapped like you don't care about anything. I'll get the ephemerate. I'll cast ephemerate.
Yes, I have a response. I'm gonna cycle Shark Typhoon. X equals 0.
You have. Oh, you play the mental misstep. Yeah, you can cycle that.
Mental misstep.
One time.
Ephemerate resolves.
I'll grab a time walk.
Yes.
I'll cast a time walk.
Yes.
Are you good to go to scoop step?
Yeah, I am. I did not draw free interaction.
That's a no for me. No matter what you say.
I can keep this.
I guess this goes bottom.
Ready?
You can start us off. Yes.
Okay. I'll start with the Tundra. Go ahead.
Draw for turn. I'll start with a basic island. Go ahead.
Ooh. I'll cast Consider at your end step.
Sure.
Interesting.
I'll quickly grab a drink while nobody knows it.
This is going to be good. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll draw this one. Untap. Draw. Play. On basics. Play Odoar. Pass 2.
End of turn. Can I opt?
No. I'll go to 18. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you say I can't opt, but can I search for its counter?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
Draw. Interesting. Deserted Beach. Narset Parter avails.
Yes.
I shall -2.
Yes.
One,
Miss.
3.
I know
Be
it's unlikely in
terribly
the deck, but
unfortunate. Oh, these are kind of
that
fun.
thing step doesn't look like a miss.
Oh, this is kind of spicy. Okay, I gotta think about what I'm doing next turn. I'm gonna take one moment.
Show me the
Think about
force.
this. So I have that. That's interesting. Um,
Would you mind not taking both of the piles out of the frame at the same time?
Sure. Apologies. This is the hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to reveal Force of Will,
Sure thing.
and then I'll pass.
And upkeep as counter.
Yes.
Can stay on top. Show me the Force of Will.
Oh.
Give it to me. I want it gone now.
That's an interesting question. I'd rather not. You can have it.
It goes to 6.
Sure.
It makes food.
Yep.
And then it's your turn. I'll take a look in my token pile and
Sure.
food.
You can attack for 3 next turn. Fine. Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Spells in this. I'll cast Mystical Tutor on my upkeep.
Yes.
Reveal this
You
ancestral
can
ritual.
target me and I'll only draw 1.
Oh, yeah, that's value. Okay. Go to draw step, I'll draw ancestral recall.
Yeah.
I'll recall targeting me.
Resolves.
Okay. Graveyard. I would like to downtick Narset.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4 plus 7. 7 in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's that.
Yeah, one of the reasons I have my setup in the way where I have a bit of space here so that I can hold cards in different hands while still having them in frame.
Reasonable. That's a lot worse. Reveal Spell Pierce.
Sure.
Okay. These will go on the bottom. Hand. I'll play Basic Island. I'll pass.
And upkeep, I have a
Yes.
trigger. Higher Ice can go to graveyard. Draw for turn. Volcanic Island.
Yes.
Uptick my loco on the food.
Okay.
Food your Narset for 3.
Food Narset. Yes, Narset's dead.
Yeah, that's the correct way to tap here for that. Soul Herder. Is Soul Herder good?
Sorry, thinking. So- I think I'm going to. I'm going to force that. Pitching. Okay. I'll exhaust Spell Pierce. Going to 17.
I'll pierce. Sure. I don't have a Soul Herder anymore. Pass turn.
Untap. Play. Oh, not that one. Hmm. Actually, play Krakus.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to cast Fractured Identity on the Oko.
What's your life total right now? You should.
I'm at 17.
Yeah, I forgot to write down the force. I was just looking at my paper and it didn't line up. You have an Oko.
Okay.
It's an
I will
exile,
make
right?
a food and then I'll pass turn. Let me see if I can I have one on that side.
And upkeep as counter trigger. I think that stays on top. Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah, Jace resolves.
Second force. I'd like to brainstorm.
Sure.
Okay, that's wild. Yes. Pass turn.
I'll draw.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up targeting the food.
Yes. Cards in hand.
5.
I'm at 3.
3 cards. Okay. Sleight of hand.
Yes.
That's pretty good. I'll put this one in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Play an island. The Fairy Time Raveler.
How about no pitching in Omnath?
No pitching on that. Sure. Combat.
Yeah.
Attack Jace.
Block.
Okay. Or sorry, one second. Let me think about my life.
Secondly, attack is gone.
That's fine. Actually, that is fine. Attack goes. That's not the. Go ahead.
And upkeep, I'll put this enter into my yard. Draw a card
Yeah.
for turn. do the Jace thing. Brainstorming. Yeah, that's the correct way. Windswept Heath. Fetch going to 19. There's my basic greenie. A white, a blue, and a green. The Ven's Reclamation targeting Monastery Mentor.
Sure.
I will be passing my turn.
I'll shock in Hall Fountain.
15.
Make a food.
Yes.
Uh, I'll pass.
Sure thing. And upkeep as counter trigger. Goes to yard. Flips. It's a crop rotation. Draw for turn. Brainstorm.
Yeah.
These two go back. It's pass turn.
End of turn. I'd like to cast Haven Mind Sensor.
Like to fetch in response.
Sure.
It's just gonna be a triumph of the Walkman. Right.
Sure. You have 2 cards in
Then
hand?
Aven Mind Sensor can 2 cards in hand, yes. Then
Okay.
Aven Mind Sensor can resolve, but I'm not passing turn after.
Okay.
I'll attempt to lightning bolt the Aven Mind Sensor, triggering Monastery Mentor.
Uh, Driven.
I'm here for the interesting decisions, not the.
Do
3 more cards in hand.
I have 2 cards. You
I
so you
missed
have
you playing
Caracas,
a
2
land.
islands, Forest, Escanta?
I have Tropical Island,
Yes.
Forest, Island, Caracas, Escanta.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting.
No more red mana open, if the remand is what you're thinking about. Do you even play remand? Yes, you do. This is the stack right now.
Yes. I'd like to cast Cryptic Commands. The modes will be counter and tap all your creatures.
Yeah, I guess I have to. Mana Leak.
Sure.
Trigger Mentor.
Yeah. This dies. My
Last
turn?
turn to you.
Tap.
Yes. Please don't
Draw.
reveal the board wipe. Don't do it to me. I'd be one sad raicune.
Do about this.
I'm empty-handed, by the way.
Okay. I have a
Not
Castle of
brainstorm.
Vantress.
Yes.
I would like to -5 Oko, exchanging control of the food token and Monastery Mentor.
Yes.
So you have food.
I have a food.
I will pass.
And upkeep. Draw for the turn. Oko is at 4, correct?
Oko's at 4.
I'd like to -1 Jace on the Monastery Mentor.
Sure.
I think this is the better play here. 2 mana. Faithful Mending.
Sure.
I'll go down to 6. I'll go back up to 20, so it gains life. This doesn't lose. These 2 trigger. Draw 2. I'll be discarding a Steam Vents and a Savannah. Swing forward, Oko.
Yeah, Oko dies. It goes to your grave. Well, yeah, this is a token. This is a token copy.
Yeah, the Oko is in exile. It doesn't go anywhere. Last turn.
I'll scry 2 with Castle of Vantress.
Sure.
It's not bad. So bottom 1. This one, do I want to? Okay, I'll leave this one on top. On top.
Sure.
Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Cast mana. Memory Deluge. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Tap like this. Is that good?
No.
No.
We're gonna try to back the Faithful Mending.
Okay, Faithful Mending is
that good?
fine.
I'll discard 2 lands and it resolves.
Okay. We'll look at 4.
Could have been a counterspell.
Uh, you have no cards in hand? Oh, you have 1 card. You have 1
1.
card in hand. Okay. Yeah, I'll put these 2 in my hand.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And upkeep. Draw for the turn. Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Sure thing. Yeah, for now I'll put these 2 back. basic planes.
Yeah.
I'd like to cast a Time Walk,
I would like to counterspell that.
triggering.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have mentor triggers, but yeah,
You
like
have
counters.
you have 2 mana open.
Yes.
It's counted. Four.
I'll go to 11.
Pass turn. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I think I have to do it like this. Terminus.
Sure.
Pass turn.
Or this mystery card that I definitely didn't put there. Timeless Witness.
Aether Gust?
Miscalc.
Sure.
I'd like to return the Time Walk to my hand.
Okay.
I'd like to Time Walk.
Sure.
I'd like to Brainstorm.
Okay. Yep.
Verdant, Crack Verdant. Going to 21. I'll find a Sparrow headquarter. Go to my next turn.
Okay.
We don't even need digging. I'm dumb. I have lethal on board. And up. Keep draw. Do you see it? The question.
I'm at 11. I don't know what's in your graveyard at the moment.
There's a Savine's Wreck and a Soul Herder.
Oh, I see. I see.
So the thing I do is I bounce this. I replay that. I recast the Time Walk. I recast. Oh no, it doesn't fully work yet. Sorry. I need to keep thinking for a bit because that's
Sure.
4 man.
Yeah, I made a mistake earlier because like I should have
Give
asked
me
for
a second for
clarification, but
math.
sure. Yeah, take your time.
5, then I get that and that and 1 mana. No, that. Do this. Okay, that's funny. No, I'm not fully there yet. I actually lied. We don't even get there yet. But what we do here is brainstorm.
Yeah.
We don't bounce yet. Okay, that's the easy solution. That's an ephemerate. I'll cast an ephemerate on the time switch.
Yeah, you got it. I have a Hull Breacher. Yeah,
So no, I was before I was the line I was thinking because I actually need to recast the Timeless Witness, and even if I get land in the Soul Herder, I get the Time Walk back in my end step, which is not good enough to kill you yet.
Yeah, the turn I cast Time Raveler and I attacked with the food. I didn't ask for clarification, but I forgot that you're like Pokemon card that represented an elk. Like I didn't know if that was a food or an elk, and I
Was it
mistakenly
food
assumed that it
with
was
an
an elk. Oh, I
It
see. There's a
wasn't.
little token on top of it. Yeah, I mistakenly
Yeah,
assumed that it was a food and not an elk, even though I knew it was the same elk from previous turns. But yeah, I
yeah,
think I just didn't notice the token on top of it. And I had Aether Gust in hand at that point, but I kind of blanked out on that. And I think that
yeah.
a bad attack basically lost me the game.
I think so too.
Yeah, I should have taken that turn a little bit more slowly, but um yeah, because I played Teferi and then that baited out the counter spell, but then yeah, I sort of misunderstood the board, but that's fine. GG's.
Finally, not losing the finals.
This is a tough matchup.
Just
Like all your cards are like kind of threatening, but if I don't have answers lined up properly, it's a little difficult.
it was actually surprising. I was thinking you were way deeper on the counter spells and was just afraid of everything. I
I
also
think I just didn't draw a lot of
think
counter
even with the
spells.
fractured identity, I would have forced that Oko. I think I would have forced the Oko as well, even with the fractured identity.
Yeah, because I realized later that it sort of puts me in a position where like the plan was to fracture the resolved creature so much worse for me. So
Yeah, but if
yeah,
you
that was
don't let me
close.
resolve anything else,
Yeah, Soul Hoarder in particular is like a difficult one because it's a growing threat that like uh, yeah, that was tough because then like you like tapped out and played Jace the turn after, and it's like so bad for me. But
yeah, the
no,
thing
yeah, I
is,
think it
in this
primarily just
version,
boils down to me not recognizing the elk was in play, and I had having the removal in hand for it. That's fine.
yeah, like the thing about this matchup is I actually do have a lot of threats that need proper answering, like or just generate value. So most of these you just can't let them resolve. Like even the Monastery Mentor, I was backing up on that for like 2 turns before because I wanted to only play when I had the Mana Leak backup, which I cast later. So that way, the turns before I was kind of just churning through my gears, trying to get the 5th land finally. The first brainstorm on the Jace just whiffed, didn't see a land, and didn't see a shuffle effect.
Yeah, I realized that when you were surprised that you drew 3 spells, but the fact that you had a free counter spell was pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think I just didn't draw very many counter spells or matchup because I'm on a fair number.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how much things just went through. I was thinking about backup plans and more backup plans, and then just everything resolved.
Yeah, I kept drawing my narrow like tech cards. Like this game, I had eight. What's it called? I had Aether Gust and even Mind Sensor in my hand for like most of this game, and I didn't have like a clean
Mhm.
time to play them out because I think you played Oko after I played Narset, and
Yes. You tapped out for
yeah,
Narset, and that's when I played Oko. The thing about that was just me thinking, okay, you need to force this, so the turn after I might be free and actually forces you to go down cards again and not make the Narset generate as much value.
yeah. I
Just
think forcing pitching Aether Gust was probably the correct play there, but yeah, I think
I don't know your hand at in that
the
situation what
the
you
other
had
card was
exactly.
Fractured Identity, which is why I didn't force it because I really wanted
Pitch.
Identity.
So and you had the Mystical Tutor as well, because you cast that the
Oh
turn
yeah,
after
yeah.
and it
Mystical
has
Tutor was
both.
the other blues card. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't want to get rid of that one. So I was sort of just hoping I would recall into
Yeah, I
some
think
fodder for force, and that also the recall
yeah,
also draws me into the 5th land for Fractured Identity.
yeah, I think I would have pitched the Ether Gust and forced the Oko. And then whenever I resolve anything else that is relevant and that does something for you as well, just any value piece, you can just fractured identity that.
Yeah, I think that plays better in
I,
retrospect. I don't know. It was just
I also think one of the things that I really gained with playing this version over the versions I had before is just how many relevant 2-drops I still have against many players. Like against you, it's mainly these 3 that just can basically win the game on their own. And I was also sad that I didn't see the Mox Diamond anytime this matchup, because against control it's really relevant to have that one more mana just to get something through. But it was one of the decks that helped me the most in the quarter and semis. Just having Mox Diamond, and even when being on the draw, having the ability to just be equal on mana or 1 mana up.
Mhm.
Do you, in hindsight, have any cuts or changes you'd make to the list if you saw the top 8 beforehand when we're doing talk?
No, I mean, I think I I think my read on my half of the bracket was very good because I knew that I knew Rest in Peace would be bad. I knew that I think Aether Gust was a good card, although I think it underperformed in this matchup because a lot of your very threatening cards are either blue or white, or at least the ones that you played out in our 2 games were blue and white. But I think overall it was good for the first 2 rounds. It didn't pair well in the fact that I Vault beat green white mid range, but there was a reasonable shot that it would have been okay if I had to face you or Storm or Jund. I think and I think cutting Rest in Peace was correct. Back to basics, I never drew it this much, but I think it was quite good.
It would have been quite good. I mean, I tried to play around it in both of the games. I fetched for basics when I didn't need to in some spots, and like on one of the brainstorms, it actually was a downside that I fetched for a basic because I didn't have double red, else I could have kept the young Pyromancer plus lightning bolt, and I couldn't do that because I only had a single red source, so I needed to keep the land to fetch, and then so I decided instead to keep the Wooded Foothills, have a land drop this turn, shuffle the young Pyromancer away, and keep the bolt for your Elk if you try to get rid of my thing to attack my Jace. But then you just had the 8 Mind Center, and I bolted that instead.
Yeah, the problem was that Monastery Mentor meant it was extremely difficult to get through. So I think tapping down your creatures with Cryptic Command was the best option I had. But you had the
one other thing I'm also not sure, but it worked out because it got me to flip Excanta early, is the decision point I had when I brainstormed and top 2 cards that I put back were Savine's Wreck and Monastery Mentor. I think it was a mistake to bin the Monastery Mentor and not the Savine's Wreck because creatures are harder to counter for you, right? I mean, it's a really small percentage, but that was a decision I made that I think was incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just due to the presence of Spell Pierce and Dovin Veto, creatures are slightly more difficult. I guess Force of Negation as well. So 3 out of like 25, 27. Yeah.
Actually, the card I originally thought I should cut again is the Soul Herder, but over the top 8 bracket, I'm actually really convinced that this card belongs in the stack right now. Just the way that removal for most players line up.
Yeah.
And just having it around, like you said, makes every other creature you drop after a threat. So it's not. Most of the time, you don't play it as a backup. You play it first, and your opponent can decide, okay, does this really matter? And most of the time, it doesn't at that point. And when they tap out, you can go for something after.
Yeah.
And it just slowly becomes bigger and bigger.
I think in retrospect, I would probably like to cut some of the more narrow cards, like sort of the more narrow answers, like Stifle, Mind Sensor, Aether Gust, or it's like they were particularly bad in this matchup due to like it's already sort of difficult to have my answers sort of line up effectively against your threats, and there's a lot of variance in sort of what answers I draw, what threats you draw, and the way our hands play out. So reducing the number of like niche cards would give me a little bit more breathing room, but that's fine. It was tricky.
The last decision that might be interesting I made in this deck for the top 8 is the crop rotation as 10th point. I'm still not sure if I really like the crop rotation, but at the same time, the Murktide region was a really good include, and I don't think I can include the Murktide region when I have 2 other Delve cards that need the cards in the graveyard, because I was already most of the time kind of tight on how much I can put into my yard even, or how many cards need to stay in yard, like a Faithless Looking and so on.
Murktide didn't seem particularly impressive in your deck, but you have like a pretty good
Oh,
spread of threats as is, so it seemed unnecessary.
yeah, I mean in this matchup, but in other matchup, it just overperforms. You put this down with a counter back up, and most players can just, or most mid-range decks just don't have a good way to deal with it. Which matchup was it? The first round matchup against Genghis Prawn, for example. The only way he had to deal with a Murktide that's bigger than 3 was an Unholy Heat. It was literally the only answer he had in his whole deck. So if it goes to 7, he just doesn't have an answer.
He has swords though, doesn't he?
No, this.
Does he not?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's swords and then it's swords and Unholy Heat. But that's
But yeah, it's not a lot of answers, but
basically just game.
yeah. Right. Well, congratulations. Your number 2 streak has ended.
I had to at some point. I thought I'd actually just lose earlier instead of breaking it this way, but I'm happy.
All right. Well, thanks for the games.
Thank you.